Good morning, it's Drew at Southern Yankee Innovations, and today I'm going to go through some things to consider when buying an outdoor wood boiler and why I went with the Heatmaster G200. Here's just a walk around of the furnace. I put mine on a 5x9 pad. That way I had enough room in front of the stove to work without always having to step in the mud when I'm loading the door. It's 125 feet from the house. I plan on putting a pretty decent sized storage shed around it, keep it covered, and then have plenty of storage for firewood nearby. So the stove is about 53 by 70 by 84, and the firebox is 28 by 30 by 36. It weighs 2,400 pounds. It has a 195 gallon capacity and puts out 32,000 to 214,000 BTUs per hour and is 79% efficient on an 8-hour burn. Heatmaster's G series wood stoves use gasification, which inside the firebox burns at about 700 degrees, and then it's forced down through the bottom where the temperature reaches upwards of 2,000 degrees, and then it's pushed through the heat exchange tubes out the back before exiting the exhaust. This leads to a very efficient and clean burn. They claim it's 50% more efficient than its competitors. Inside the gasification tube, the temperature is 2,000 degrees. After leaving the heat exchanger tubes and out the chimney, the temperature is down to 300 degrees to show you how efficient this stove really is. So here we're going to look inside the firebox. The hinges are easy to use and adjustable, so if they loosen up or you get an air gap, you can tighten it up to redo the seal. Has a little flap to keep down the smoke. The panels on the right are removable for cleaning if you ever get a lot of creosote buildup. There's the down into the gasification chamber, and then out the top is a smokeless bypass valve for loading to bypass the smoke out the chimney. Here's a look inside the gasification chamber. It has a similar style handle, and then the door has a peephole so you can look inside, see the burn, inspect it, make sure everything's functioning like it should. I'm just going to show you the inside view. So here's a look inside the gasification chamber. The air is forced in the concave portion in the middle and then pushed out the back where it goes to the heat exchanger tubes. Look at the dampener. It just has two clips on each side, and then it rests on the top of the bottom part of the cutout. I removed the two little screws so you can pull the dampener out and just get an idea of what it looks like behind, how the air flows through the system. The rear lever is used for cleaning the heat exchange tubes. The front lever is the smokeless loading handle. If you just pull that out before you load, any smoke inside the firebox will exit the exhaust, and then the computer control unit's on the top right of the side. Furnace control unit's pretty simple. Has a cold start for the first time starting the stove, and then a simple on-off switch, and then there's two fuses. The screen has a couple different settings. You can adjust the temperatures and some other features as well. Moving on to the back, just has two supply outlets, two returns, circulating pump, comes with a gallon jug of water treatment. You have your electronic box, has two 110 outlets, and then two switches, one for the main power, then one for the recirculating pump. Here's the draft inducer fan that controls the rate of flow into the furnace. Just an inside view behind the fan. The circle part is the smokeless loading And then here is the heat exchanger tubes with the spiral shafts that go down individually. When it comes to cleaning, all you have to do is rack that several times when you load it, and that's your extent of cleaning. A lot of the other stoves have a bunch of tubes that you have to go through, usually recommended every 2 weeks, with a wire brush and clean. And this can be done in a couple seconds versus 20 minutes. Heatmaster recommends the wood be between 15 and 25% moisture. Too green of wood will cause a lot of creosote. So for the maintenance of the stove, obviously keep your water up to full. Make sure your temperatures where they should be on a daily basis. On a weekly basis, pop out the gasification chamber cover, and on the sides you'll get a little bit of light ash. Just scrape that out, dispose of properly. On a monthly basis, double check and make sure there's no creosote buildup. And then at the end of the year, if you have any creosote buildup, make sure you take care of that. And before seasoning the stove, if you're not going to run it year round, make sure you put the cap over the chimney. Another big selling feature for Heatmaster is their warranty. 5-year coverage for 100%, 6 to 7 years at 50, and all the way up to 16 years. They're still covering 10% of possibility of failures. It speaks volumes for their pride in their product. You do have to send in water samples every year to maintain your warranty, but they provide that free of charge. You just have to pay for shipping. So overall, I went with the G200 for the ease of maintenance and the efficiency. The Heatmaster claims this stove is about 50% more efficient than its competitors, and the warranty, being built with the titanium enhanced stainless steel, is hard to beat. 5 years, 100%, and up to 10% through the life. Breaks down, is prorated over the years, but in all reality, up to 10% the entire life of the stove. If you have any other questions, just let me know. I'd be glad to try to help you out.